What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video, though, this video is entitled Working Through It All. This has to do with work ethic. And I was talking to my son about this earlier. People don't realize, or people get accustomed to working when it's convenient, working when they feel like it, working when they're in a mood to do it. Well, working when they feel like it's going to get something and everybody's looking, that type of ideology. But you got to be able to work through it all. You know, when I was younger, there were no sick days in school. Truth be told, you know, snow, miles of walking, and people who know this, I was in high school in the 90s, mid to late 90s in Chicago. But during that time, there was some cold winters, and they didn't cancel school. Now it seems like school get canceled. Oh, it's raining for 30 minutes straight. School's canceled. 6 inches, 8 inches, 12 inches of snow. Your ass better be in class. And I would have to walk. You know, I remember the days when you was walking and the snow was up to your knees on the sidewalk because people wasn't shoveling the sidewalk in front of their houses and whatnot. It wasn't really houses. It is houses, but it's like 3 stories. So it's like a big 3-story, but it's 3 separate apartments. You know what I'm saying? I remember walking down that street a lot. And but there was no off days. Feet cold, frostbit, ain't no days off. You ain't gotta like it. Whatever. And that translated into life, you know. Went to high school, played sports and all that other stuff. You do it when people don't, you don't feel like practice every day. You don't feel like lifting every day. You don't feel like running every day. Same thing with getting an education and studying. You ain't feel like doing it every day, but you got to work through it all. I mean, there was a time I had walking pneumonia and I had honors classes and sports, and I was coughing up blood every morning. And I was washing my clothes with cold water, taking cold showers because we didn't have hot water. And I would dry my clothes with a fan, and basically I had to dry my clothes with a fan in my damn room, blowing on me, which made my walking pneumonia worse. and I got super sick, but there was no days off. You got to work through it all. That's part of being what you would say in poverty, I guess. That's what you say. Not eating breakfast. I had to learn how to eat flour, sugar, and water, and mix that up and make a flat ass pancake as a meal because I didn't have food at times. That's what it was. I make no qualms about it. You learn how to use, you get old school, you learn how to use newspaper as toilet paper. You crumple it up. You learn how to use baking soda as your toothpaste, and your deodorant. That's what you get old school. My grandparents grew up in the South, and they taught me all those kind of old things, right? If y'all really, how you spin a stick on some spider web and shit on cuts that may need stitches, and you do that, and that's the same thing to a degree. But anyway, the thing about it is you got to be able to work through it all. People may feel like they have a mental health day. I'm sorry. Some of us don't, some of us don't have the luxury of having a mental health day. You got to learn to work through it all. Friends got killed, family died, blah, blah, blah. The world don't give a damn. You got to work through that. You get what I'm saying? I learned that, people going to depend on you no matter what you're going through. And though they may care about you, they care about what needs to get done before they care about you. So you might have to learn to work through it all. I think one of the most painful experience I had wasn't actually getting my throat cut. It was actually I broke my wrist dunking when I was in the 8th grade, 7th to 8th grade. It was the first time I dunked. I was all proud of myself. I cheated a little bit, you know. But since I cheated, I swung on the rim too goddamn hard, and I fell clean off of that bitch and landed smack dab on the concrete court, and my wrist was hanging. But that was like noon. I had to wait till like 6, 7 o'clock till my mother got home to go to the hospital because my mother couldn't get off work. So I was sitting there with a broke wrist on a pillow with some ice for like, 6, 7 hours straight, And I learned at that particular moment, you're going to have to, go through some things that are not pleasant, to say the least. But that's the thing, you learn over time that you got to be able to work through it all. Pressure, adverse situations, adverse personalities, home situations, work situations, school situations. There comes a point where people don't give a damn about nothing but getting it done, and you're going to have to be able to work through it. Nobody cares about your home life. Parents doing drugs, parents selling drugs, family and friends getting killed, people going to jail. You're going to have to work through that. Because if you want to get out of the quote-unquote hood, that might be part of the process. You know what I'm saying? You joking with your friend on Monday, your friend dead on Thursday. I remember I almost got struck by lightning. It was not funny, but nobody told me about I was just like raining real bad, lightning real bad, and I was by a tree. Didn't realize that sometimes trees can be conductors. Man, shit. I was shook up, and there was things. I think I had a game or a track meet or something the next day, and I was like, I almost got electrocuted like a motherfucker. I'm not a superhero. And it was like, don't nobody give a fuck about all that, man. You still got shit to do. Let's get it. I'm like, damn, okay, thank you. But, even as I got older, it got worse. Like some of y'all know, because I started doing more videos after I got in that car wreck. And my shoulder was killing me, man. I had a tear in my rotator cuff or whatever. And I thought I was going to have surgery. I'm happy to say I did all that rehab and all the other shit, and I don't. But I had to work through that through work. I had to work through that, therapy. I kind of took this hobby up a notch because I didn't have much to do at the time. But even if I'd had to have surgery, it'd just been, one of my friends said, like, how you going to, who going to take care of you? I'm like, me, motherfucker. What are you talking about? You got to, I got to work through it. You got to work through all kinds of things. Even, life, baby mama drama, you got to work through that. You can't get so upset that you don't go to work and you don't take care of your kid because you don't, I'm mad. That shit don't count. Kids still need stuff, right? No matter what goes on, you got to be able to work through it all. My best friend got murdered. Lord knows I wanted some get back, and it was some bullshit, but, you got to let it go. But you got to I was at work. Had to work through that. My other best friend, which my grandmother, died a few weeks later. Got to work through that. A lot of, life is not going to, when I was doing music, I was working like 10-hour days, 6 days a week. And on my off day, I would do a song every week, until I would finish an album. If you want to get shit done, you got to work through that. The same thing when I wrote that book. You got to work through that. You got to be able to work through it all because, your dreams are not going to be given to you. Same thing like I said when I talked about being in college. There was a point where I was just living out the car, working a graveyard shift, taking showers at friends' houses. Couldn't afford books, so I was memorizing everything while I'm falling asleep driving, falling asleep in class. To graduate, I had to work through that to get it done. So, I've learned over time, you got to be able to work through it all, because if you really want certain things out of life, unfortunately, you're going to catch a break eventually. I think I'm going to catch breaks because of all the work I put in and all the things that I've been through. I believe in that, but I never quit. I worked through it all. So, in my opinion, you got to be able to work through it all, because if you don't, you're never going to get to where you want to go. So, like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. Deuces. Peace.